What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So today I'm pretty excited. I came across this article a while back on the art of manliness, and it was titled Memento Mori. Anyways, I'm going to get into it and show you a couple pictures from this article. It was super cool. Memento Mori is a Latin word that means remember death. And remembering death, when I say remember death, a lot of people would say that's pessimistic, right? That's because the young generation today, we don't think about death. We don't like to think about, we want to think that we're staying young forever and we're going to have tons of energy and, YOLO, the YOLO lifestyle. I'm getting the coconut coffee ready. So, let me read you some of this article. Got a couple pictures to show you. It says, Memento Mori, remember that you will die. The phrase is believed to originate from an ancient Roman tradition in which a servant would be tasked with standing behind a victorious general as he paraded through town. As the general basked in the glory of the cheering crowds, the servant would whisper in the general's ear, Respice posti hominem ti es memento mori. And it means, look behind you. Remember that you are but a man. Remember that you will die. And it goes on to say, for men living in antiquity all the way up until the beginning of the 20th century, rather than being a downer, right? Rather than seeing death as being pessimistic, it says death was seen as a motivator to live a good, meaningful, and virtuous life. To help men remember death, artists created paintings, sculptures, and mosaics depicting skulls, skeletons, and other symbols of death. Churches would display Memento Mori art to compel viewers to meditate on death, reflect on their lives, and rededicate themselves to preparing to meet God. Devout Christians would often ask their tomb or grave maker to have some sort of skeleton motif on it to remind their visiting family members to get right with God before they too bit the dust. So, these artists would do these paintings, and with Memento Mori in mind, reminding people that they are going to die, reminding us we are going to die. That's the one guarantee that all of us have, is that we can expect to face death with certainty. So, look at these guys and whatever comes to your mind. These are super cool. I printed these off, so I don't know if the quality is that great, but here's some of them. And I've noticed along a lot of these, the themes, they'll have an hourglass, the skeleton, the flower. Some of them will have pieces of gold, books, a lot of pens, books like for learning and stuff, instruments. This one's got a lot of stuff. This one's probably my favorite one. Pretty cool. So, that's what I got. The Memento Mori. Remember you will die. And using that as a motivator. And I think that's very powerful, guys. Very powerful motivator. It doesn't have to be pessimistic, okay? If we know for certain that we are going to face death, we know our days are numbered. And so we know our days are numbered. And it's very easy to, I find myself doing this a lot, where I'm going through my day and I'll just sit there thinking. I'm not really doing anything. I'm thinking about the future. I'm almost, I don't want to say depressed, but I'm very, like, instead of doing anything, I'm either overly optimistic, or I'm just thinking about what's wrong in life, or what am I lacking in, or what don't I like, instead of actually doing stuff. So, Memento Mori, remember that I will die. The clock is ticking, right? My days are numbered. This day is so precious. Check this out. There's a little cardinal at the window. So, our days are numbered, they're precious, and I was thinking about this today. This quote came to mind. Same guy that wrote the War of Art book, Stephen Pressfield, he wrote a book called The Gates of Fire. And in The Gates of Fire, it's about the 300 Spartans. In The Gates of Fire, King Leonidas is leading the 300 Spartans to go to this final battle to face like 1 million of these Persian soldiers. I believe they're Persian. I might be wrong. And he's going to, and one of the generals comes up to Leonidas and he says, Leonidas, what do I tell the men? There's 2 or 3 days before the battle. He says, what do I tell the men? And King Leonidas turns to him and says, keep the men busy. And remember this, guys. I've remembered this quote, and I look to this whenever I'm going through the day where I'm not really doing much. I'm just thinking, and I'm digging my grave. I'm digging that hole to get stuck in. King Leonidas says this, and he says, keep the men busy. For when men's minds are idle, their hearts turn to fear. And think about that. When a man's mind is idle, his heart turns to fear. So he's like, keep them busy, okay? We don't want them sitting around the camp. We don't want them sitting around thinking that death is coming. Death is right around the corner. Keep them busy. Keep them busy. Don't let them get any negativity, all right? Keep their mindsets high. Keep them busy and focused on having some task. So, remember you will die, okay? Remember your days are numbered. And then, how do you keep your mind busy? Because for me, man, I'm telling you guys, I struggle daily with this. I wake up and it's so easy to have a negative outlook. From the moment I step out of bed, my mind seems to just like teeter over to the negative side. And I've got to fight this resistance to come back, to get out of that. And it's only by, I've talked about it yesterday with What's Your Well, but it's only by doing certain things, keeping the mind busy. Because what is the default state, right? King Leonidas knew that the Spartans, they were going to fear, even though they're Spartans, these skilled, trained warriors. They've been doing all this life. They were outnumbered, okay? The odds were against them. In life, life is fucking nuts, man, okay? It's easy to get down. It's easy to think yourself into a dark, deep, dark place that's hard to crawl out. I've been there, man. It's hard to get out when you're there. So, keeping the mind busy is one of the only antidotes, the only remedy I know for a mind that is allowed to wander. Okay, you don't want to let your mind wander too much. It's great. I'm kind of contradicting myself when I say in other videos to be alone, spend time alone, let your mind work things out. You want that, but you also want to be doing. You want to be an action person, a person who is saying, okay, I'm going to do what needs to be done. I have the action, right? You can be action oriented. You can be practical. You can assert. You can look out and figure things out, but also be a doer. Okay. Let's walk the walk, guys. Remember, the days are numbered. The days are numbered. And let this fire you up. I mean, dedicate your life to creating a legacy, to not something that's just smoke and bubbles, right? Smoke and mirrors, but creating a legacy and something that will live beyond the grave. I'll see you guys soon. Please subscribe.